Today we're doing Unit 4, Day 7, Triangle Sum Inequalities. And my first question says, can any three segment lengths be connected to form a triangle? So for example, if I have three segment lengths, let's say one segment is the length of this pencil, and one segment is the length of this marker, and one segment is the length of this nail. Can I put those three, can I put any three segments together and make a triangle? Right? I could put these together and I could make a triangle with a teeny tiny acute angle up there, right? Can I put any three side lengths together and make a triangle? Basically, yes. So I got these two, I got three side lengths, and I can make a triangle. Okay? What about if I had this pencil, this nail, and this doodad? I don't know what it is. Can I make a triangle? No. But you just told me I could with any three side lengths. Oh, yeah. Never mind. Can I make a triangle?
No, you can only make a triangle.
Oh. Why can't I make a triangle?
Because those two sides are connected.
Yeah, these two sides, they're not long enough. They're never going to reach each other without breaking my pencil or sharpening my pencil all the way down to like here. Right? I can't make a triangle with this full pencil and these two other little pieces. So, let me ask one more time. Can I make a triangle with any three segments?
No.
No, I cannot make a triangle with any three segments. Okay? Sometimes one of your segments is just too long and the other two won't reach all the way in. Right? So, can three segment lengths be connected to form a triangle? My answer is no. And if you want to draw yourself a little picture so you remember why, you can draw a longer segment and then two shorter segments. So you can see, oh yeah, those won't reach each other. Okay? So that's a no. But how do I know without actually having the three segments and trying it out, how can I tell whether or not they'll work? Well, your third side must be between the difference and the sum of the first two sides. When I say difference, what does that mean? Yeah, when you subtract them, okay? And because we're doing side lengths and we're talking about measurements, it's always going to be the positive difference. And we know different means the subtraction of them. And what do we mean when we say sum? Add. And that's always going to be positive because you're adding two positive numbers, right? Because they're side lengths. So if I'm just given three side lengths and it says, can I make a triangle? All I have to do is pick one and call it the third side. It doesn't even matter which one. And then look at the other two sides, difference and sum, and say, does the third one fall in between? Okay? So for example, when I have 7 centimeters, 5 centimeters, and 3 centimeters, I pick one to be my third side. I usually just go with the actual third side, but it doesn't matter. You can pick any of the three. And then you look at the other two, my 7 centimeters and my 5 centimeters, and I find the difference between 7 and 5. What's the difference? 2. And then centimeters. And then I look at my sum. What's the sum of 7 and 5? 12 centimeters. Does 3 centimeters fall in between 2 and 12?
Yes.
Yes, that means I can make a triangle. Okay? When I look at the next one, I'm going to pick a third side. Which one do you want to be the third side? 4. If 4 is my third side, I want to know, does it fall between the difference and the sum? So my other two sides are 12 and 6. What's the difference? 6 yards. What's the sum? 18 yards. Does 4 fall between 6 and 18? No. So what that means is that 12 yards is going to be too long, and my 6 yards and my 4 yards aren't going to reach. Okay? So this is a no. All right. On the last one in this row, 9, 4, and 13, which one do you want to be side 3?
4.
Okay, 4. So then the other two, what's the difference in the other two?
4.
The difference in 9 and 13 is 4. What's the sum? 9 and 13? 22. Does 4 fall between 4 feet and 22 feet? No, it's equal to one end. If I go stand in the doorway of this classroom and I say, am I in between the walls of this class? The answer is no. I'm equal with one of the walls, but I'm not in between the walls. I have to be here to be in between the walls. Does that make sense? Okay? So, you cannot be equal to one of the ends. You have to be in between the two ends. So you might want to write can't be equal. Can't be equal. So my answer here is no. I'm not in between 4 and 22. I'm equal to the 4. Okay? Alright. Give all possible values of the missing side of a triangle given 2 lengths. So I know 2 are 8 and 11. I want to know what possible values can I use for the third side. So I know if I look at the difference in the first 2 sides that I know, that's going to be 7 inches. And if I look at the sum, that's going to be 19 inches. So how do I list all the possible values of side lengths between 7 and 19? What do I do? I just write them out. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way to 18.
8 to 18.
8 to 18? But then what about a side length of 7.5? Wouldn't we be excluding 7.5? If we said 8 to 18
through 8.
So 7.1 to 8.9, so then we'd be missing 7.05.
The difference between 8 and 11 is 3.
11 minus 8 is 3.
Oh, 3. Sorry. 3.
In school.
So if I say 3.1 to 18.9, I'm still leaving out 3.01. Yeah? So to not leave anything out, you can't just list them. It's impossible to list all of the decimal values between 3 and 19, right? Between 3 and 19. So what we do is we say our third side. It has to be bigger than 3, right? So that means 3 has to be smaller than the third side. The third side has to be smaller than 19. So 3 inches is less than the third side, which is less than 19 inches. That's the way we write that. And that takes into account everything between 3 and 19. Every single decimal value between 3 and 19. That make sense? Alright, so when I look at 25 and 15, what's my low value going to be? 10. My difference of 25 and 15 is 10. I know that has to be smaller than the third side. The third side has to be bigger than 10, so it's open towards the third side. And then my third side has to be smaller than, what's the maximum number it has to be smaller than?
45.
What?
40.
40. Meters and meters. So everything between but not equal to, notice I didn't put an equal bar under there, between 10 meters and 40 meters. Okay? That is the first of 2 things we're learning today. Let's learn the second one. If a triangle can be formed, the smallest angle will be across from the shortest side, and the largest angle will be across from the longest side. The reason that is if you were to think of yourself as an angle, your arms as angles, as rays of an angle, as you close the angle, bring your arms together, or as you open the angle, separate your arms apart, think about if you had a triangle and that side across between your fingers, across from the angle where you're standing. As I make this angle where I'm standing smaller, what happens to the side between my fingers? It gets smaller. And as I make this angle where I'm standing bigger, what happens to the distance between my fingers? It think it's bigger, right? So the bigger the angle, the bigger the side across from it. The smaller the angle, the smaller the side across from it. Okay? So when you're given a triangle, if you know the three angles, and you can look at the triangle and say, oh, C is my smallest angle. And then you can say, all right, and A is my medium angle. And B is my largest angle. You can look across from them to see your small, medium, and your long side. So across from my smallest angle, so if I go across the triangle from that angle, my shortest side then is going to be side AB. Capital A, capital B, it's a segment. My medium side is going to be across from the medium angle. So my medium side is going to be BC. And then my largest side will be across from my biggest angle, which is going to be AC. When you're doing these problems, it is important to read the prompt because sometimes they say to list your sides and angles from smallest to largest, but sometimes they say to list your sides and angles from largest to smallest. So you need to pay attention, smallest to largest, largest to smallest. It's important, right? So this one says to start with the largest. They didn't give me the angles, but I can look and see that my longest side, my biggest value is 10, so my longest side is RS. So that's my largest or longest side. Which angle does RS come from? Yeah, if I leave the R and I leave the S, we go back towards T. So that means T was the big angle across from the big sides. Okay? Which side is my medium side? ST. And if I leave ST and I go across, what's my opposite angle? Angle R is going to be my medium angle. Which leaves what for my short side? RT. And what for my small angle? Angle S. When you look at your smallest or your largest or your medium angle and side together, you'll see no letters repeating. Okay? When I look here, I have ABC. When I look here, ABC. When I look here, ABC. None of the letters repeat. When I come down here, RST, RST, RST. If you ever use the same letter twice in the same set, then you've done something wrong, right? Because the side is across from the angle, which means the side has two letters and the angle has the third that we haven't used yet. Okay? All right, so those are the only two things you're learning today. Let's do some practice problems. Number 1, is it possible to construct a triangle with those side lengths?
No.
3, 6, and 9? Why not?
Because 3 plus 6 equals 9, and 3 or 6 times 3 plus 3, and 9 is equal to 9.
Yes. So, yes. And really, we could have just said, well, if 9 is my third side, the sum of those is 9, right? So the difference is 3. The sum is 9. 9's equal to 9, so it can't be equal. It has to be in between. You could have done that with any of the three sides. You would have gotten the same answer.
Wait, we didn't-
Oh, sorry, my answer is not yes, it's no. Thank goodness for Raceful 10. Number 2, give all possible values of the length of the third side of the triangle given the lengths of the other two sides, 3 meters and 4 meters. What's it going to look like? One. But how do I write that? Without writing between 1 and 7. I don't want to write all that out.
Third side and then the
1
greater than the-
less than the third side. Oh, never greater than. 1 less than the third side. Less than the what? 7 meters. Always less than symbols. Never greater than symbols. Number 3, list the sides and the angles in order from smallest to largest. They gave me my sides, so we'll start with the sides. Which one is my smallest side?
KL.
KL. So KL, which angle is across from that for my smallest angle?
J.
Angle J. What's my medium side?
LJ.
LJ or JL, you can say it either way. Which side is across from LJ?
K.
Okay, or angle, I guess. I think I said side. So then what's my biggest side?
J.
JK. Just kidding. What's across from it? Angle F. Is that a right angle? Is that a right triangle? Kinda.
I don't know.
You either are right or you're not. You can't kind of be a right angle.
I'm not sure.
We're not sure?
It
How?
does not have the triangles.
It doesn't have the triangle. But if I have all three sides, could I test the Pythagorean theorem and see if it works?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
Let's do that. Alright, so which one would have to be my hypotenuse?
28.
Right, because the longest side has to be the hypotenuse. So if I do 13 squared plus 25 squared, if 28 squared equals 794, then we can say, yeah, this is a right triangle. 28 squared is not. It's too small. It's 10 units too short. So if this is too short to be a hypotenuse, that means it's too short to be across from a 90-degree angle. That means this angle is too small to be 90. This isn't a cute triangle. We can even tell if it's acute or obtuse using the Pythagorean theorem. Kind of a neat little trick there. We'll learn more about that in January. Something to get excited about. All right, number 4. Is it possible to construct a triangle with the given side lengths 28, 34, and 39? Well, let's check. Which one do you want to call the third side?
39.
28.
39.
I'm going to go 28. Sorry.
Loudest voice wins.
All right. Between the 34 and the 39, what's the difference?
3.
Let's go with 5. What's the sum of 34 and 39? 73. Does 28 fall between 5 and 73?
Yes.
Yes. All right, give all possible values of possible lengths of the third side x. So instead of having to write out third side, we're just going to put an x in its place. Of the triangle given the lengths of the other two sides. All right, what are my two numbers going to be on the first one? What's the small one? 6. Oops. And
30.
30. What about the next one? 13.
Yes.
And
33.
and
38.
oh, what? If I put 38 here, do I put feet or do I put inches?
Feet. Inches.
Oh!
Man, I don't know my number.
Man, that's obnoxious. Alright, so I have to either make both of these feet or make both of them inches. It's much easier to do inches, right? How many inches in a foot?
24.
In a foot?
12.
12. So 2 feet have 24 inches. He was just a step ahead of me. Okay. Alright, so what is really going to be my small number?
I don't know.
What is it? 16 inches. And my big number? 64 inches. So make sure you're checking those units. There's a reason I write them all the time.
Miss Bishop?
Yeah.
And if you put it in feet, would it still be the correct answer?
Yes, yeah. If you changed that to feet, it would be kind of ugly. Let's see. That would be 36 plus another 4, and 4 would be a third. So it would be 3 1/3 feet on the one side. So it'd be 2 feet and 3 1/3 feet. And so you'd have to subtract those and add those. But it would
But if
be,
you put it in the
you would
thing,
still get correct the answer, yes.
Oh, okay.
You would still be
Thank you.
kind of right. All right. Is it possible to construct a triangle with the given side lengths 35, 120, and 125? Probably not. Well, pick a third side. 35. What's the difference in the other two?
5.
What's the sum of the other two?
245.
Can I make a triangle?
Yes.
Yes. So don't guess. Y'all guessed wrong. All right. List the sides and the angles in order from largest to smallest. They gave me 2 of the 3 angles. I know for sure I'm going largest to smallest. I know for sure N has to be my biggest angle because you can only have one obtuse angle in a triangle. So angle N is definitely the largest angle, which means which one is my longest side?
MP.
MP. Alright, but when I look at this, I need to know which of those is the medium angle.
74. What's 24 minus 180?
Yeah, so we're going to add these two together, 127 and 24, which means I've already used 151 degrees out of how many in the whole triangle? 180. What's left for angle M?
29.
So now we know which one is our medium angle. What's my medium angle? M. And across from it is
MP.
NP or PN, however you want to say it. Oops, what did I forget on the last one?
Oh, the line.
My segment bar. I just made it a distance and not a segment. Alright, so then what's my smallest angle?
P.
And my shortest side?
MN.
MN. Easy peasy. Alright, your assignment is in Schoology.